Hi guys and welcome again. So today we are going to see the remaining problems for the two that I said that I will go through are still in pending. So we will go through that after this, like on the next day. So today we are just going to focus on the remaining three, and then we will come back and in the revision video I will cover those two as well. Okay, so let's get started. Here, let's get to the problem. Okay, I hope you can see the screen. Okay, so the first problem here is find the duplicate number. So given an array of integer num containing n plus 1 integer, where each integer is in the range 1 to n inclusive, there is only one repeated number. Return this repeated number. So you must solve the problem without modifying the array nums and use only constant extra space. Okay, so let's say from okay, we have given that array, right? Okay, so that is 1 3 4 2 2. Okay, and then we have 3 1 3 4 2. So here we can see from 1 to 4 we have the numbers, and 2 is the only number that's been repeated, so we have to return this value. Okay, then similarly in this question, 1 2 3 4. So 3 is repeated, so we have to return 3. Okay, so this question, all in integer value appears only once exactly for the precise, and will appear two or more times. Okay, that's fine. So follow up, how can you improve the least prove that at least one duplicate number exists in nums? Okay, so basically I know this question because in the interview that was held on like 2 days back, so 2 or 3 days back, so there they had asked a similar kind of question. So on that time I was able to come up with the solution, though I had some difficulty. So what my approach was first was to get this list as sorted. So here they have already told that we are not allowed to modify the array. So but he said that no problem, you can sort them, but then again you will be taking o of n log n because you are sorting the array. So that was correct. So I thought like, yeah, that's one way to do it, and it will take more time complexity. So now what we can do to get this in o of n? So then I thought, yeah, that we have only one repeated one, right? So let's do one thing. We can have a hash map for it, and what we can do is we put all the required numbers in the hash map, and since it won't get repeated, so we will just increment the number of count for any particular variable, and then we can go through the hash map and see what number exactly is going is occurring more than once. So that was one of the solution, but he said try to get the solution in like uh, in place solution. So it was basically that this part that was use only constant extra space. So basically what after that I did was I had this same array, and since we know the size of the array, we created a new array with the same size. And since it starts with uh, like 1 2 n plus 1, so what I did was it should contain that index. So let me go through this on the notepad. I think I will be able to explain there better. So let's say we had the array nums. So it contained 1 3 4 2 2. right? So now what I did was I created another array that was index num. Okay, now what I did was it contained the same size. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So its size was also 5, and it contained the same index. Okay, so now what I did was if we encountered 1, right? So what I did, I will place that particular number in this array. Okay, so let's say for loop started from I equals to 0 to n. N is the size of the array. In this case, it is 5. Okay, so after that, I was iterating through nums. So nums of I. So whatever value I get, so that value plus 1, because we okay, sorry, not plus 1, minus 1, because let's say for the value 1, if we place it on the index 1, then it like index num array should be like one more, it should contain one more space. So let it be like that. Okay, so what I did is in the index num we will have that particular index increased. So let's say the value here we encountered is 1. So what will happen, we will go to that uh, so this value becomes 1. So 1 minus 1, that is 0. So index 0 will be incremented. So here you will get 1. So if once we initialize it, all the remaining values are 0. So this was incremented to 1. And similarly, if we go to 3, then 3 minus 1, that will result in 2, and 2 is incremented. So index 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So index 2 is incremented to 1. Okay, and similarly we get to 4, it goes to here 3 and increment that, and then we go to 2. So 2 minus 1, that is 1. So index 1 is incremented. But once we come to again index 2, sorry, again we encountered the same number, then we increase the index again and it becomes 2. So now what we can do is we can iterate through this index num and see where we are getting the value as 2. So that particular index plus 1 will be the answer for our question. Okay, so this exactly was not the question that was asked in the interview, but it was very same. So what they had asked was find the missing number. So instead of having index here, after adding all the like incrementing, we are getting like 2, right? So instead of that, we could have checked for index value as 0, and we can remove the last index obviously. So let's get back to the coding and see how we can code this one. Okay, so okay, now let's go to first we need the length of this. So let's say n, we are assuming, so nums dot length, and that will give us the length of the array. So after that we are going to go for a for loop. Oh, before that we need an array called index array. So it will have the size as n. Okay, now we are going to iterate through the array from 0 to less than n I plus plus. So here we will have like index array value, and where we will take nums value, nums of I, and minus 1, and we increment this. Okay, So after this we can just copy this one, as we are going to iterate through this again, and close this. Okay, so if uh, index sorry index array of I is equals to 2, that means it has been incremented twice, then we will return this number. Return uh, like index plus 1. Okay, so that is the case. And do we have any edge cases like for -1 or something? So just in case, if nothing is returned, then we are just putting -1. Let's see and if it works or not. It seems to be working for this one. Let's try this one. Okay, let's try to submit this. So output was -1, expected was 2. Okay, I think so. I think if it is greater than equal to, I think I will put that the case, because okay, let's see. If this is the case, then anything is possible, right? So if one is coming twice, and then so what we should return? So okay, so what exactly went wrong? Given an array integer num consisting of n plus 1 integers, where each integer is in the range 1 to n, that is fine. So there is only one repeated number. Okay, so that is totally fine. So okay, yeah, so its value is greater than that, so okay, fine. Let's see. This time it should work. Okay, cool. I think this is fine. So let's move on to the next one. Put this as done. So repeat and missing number. Let's open this. Okay, this is on Coding Ninjas. It is also a platform similar to a LeetCode, so we can just go through the questions and just do the code. So missing and repeating numbers. Okay, in the problem statement, you are given an array of size n. The element of the array are in the range 1 to n. Okay, so ideally the array should contain element 1 to n, but due to some miscalculation, there is a number r in the range of 1 to n, which appears in the array twice, and another number m which in the range 1 to n, which is missing from the array. Okay, your task is to find the missing number m and the repeating number r. Okay, this seems to be very much similar to what we did for this find duplicate one. So this logic remains same, I guess, and for we need to just check for the solution for missing one as well. Okay, so here we can see they have given the example. So let's say the size of the array is 6. The element in the array are this. Okay, so the array should contain elements from 1 to 6. Okay, so here 2 is not present, which is correct, and 5 is occurring twice, which is also correct. So thus missing number m is 2, and 5 is R. Okay. So can you do this in a linear time and constant additional space? Input format they have given. Okay, output format for every test case print missing number M and repeating number separated by a single space. Okay, that's fine. So they have given the test case, so here we can see 2 is missing and 4 is repeated, so we have to print it like 2 space and 4. Okay, fine. Let's try to code this, or let's try to have a pseudo code for us before doing this. So yeah, here we did was to, yeah, so here what we did was totally fine. Now what we need to do is, yeah, let's remove this. Like we should take size -1. Okay, why to take one extra space? Okay, let's keep it like this, and this works totally fine for this example as well to find the repeating number. Okay, now we need to find the missing one, so we could have like an additional case here, condition. If we are getting like index num as 0, then we will what we will do is we will take that value as M, right? M was for, let me see, so yeah, so missing number is M, missing number M, and repeating is R. So that's fine, and we have to give like M then R, right? You have to return the pair whose first element is missing, and then the second is the repeating one. Okay, fine. So let's go and try to code this. Okay, so first of all, we are given the length n, and we are given the array list arr. Okay, let's create an array list here with integer value. Okay, and I'll name it as index array, and we are going to put it as new, but it is, okay, it is looking for integer array of index 2 as well for the result, so just have it there, int array called result, and new int size is 2. Okay, fine. This is new array list, okay, so instead of taking it as array list, let's keep it as array. Why to complicate things, right? And also why to have those values again assigned, right? So this should be fine. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to iterate from int I equals to 0 to I less than n, or better put it as arr dot length. Oh, it's an array list, right? So I plus plus. So we are iterating through array list arr. So what we have to do is index array, we are putting those values, right? So arr dot get I index -1, and we are going to increment that. Okay, so after this we have to just iterate through the array again. I less than, so n is length, right? So yeah, less than n, I plus plus. Okay, now if index array of I is greater than or equal to 2, then we are going to set this value for the repeating one, that is for the first index of result. Then sorry, result index 1, sorry, 0 and 1, so that value will be set as I plus 1. Okay, and if index array value is of I is equal to 0, we are going to set it as result of 0 as I plus 1. Okay, so this is the case, and we are going to return this array. Oh, sorry, yeah, return result. Let's try to run this and see. Okay, and seems to be working fine. Let's submit this. Okay, cool. So this one also works fine. Let's go to the next problem statement. Put it as done. So inversion of an array, prerequisite is merge sort. I don't know merge sort, but let's see. Okay, so here we have it. Problem statement: for a given integer array ARR of size n containing all distinct value, find the total number of inversion that may exist. Okay, an inversion is defined for a pair of integer in the array list when the following two condition is met. Okay, so a pair I and j values is said to be inversion when AR of I is greater than AR of j and I is less than j. Okay, so where I and j are denoted denotes the indices ranging from 0 to n. Okay, that is fine. So the first line of input contains integer n denoting the size of, okay, that is fine. So yeah, we are given like print. Okay, so first line of input is given the integer n denoting the size of the array. Okay, and then the second line of the input contains n integers separated by a single space denoting the elements of the array. Okay, that is fine. We have given both those things. So print the single line containing the single integer that denotes the total count of inversion in the input array. Okay, we are not required to print anything. It has been already taken care of. Just return the function. It is a long value and it's a long integer. Okay, so this is the case where ARR5 denotes the ith index. Okay, so this is the case. Okay, so straight up ahead, what we can do, the simple solution that comes to my mind is we iterate through the array twice, and we have the first one for I from 0 to n, and for j that is from I to n. Okay, so that we don't repeat the same index in the array. Okay, so then we can check, since I value will be always less than j value, so the second condition is already fulfilled. Now what we could do is we could check the first condition, that is here, array of I value is greater than array of j value. So that is one way, but that will result in about like n square time complexity, and I don't think they are looking for that. Yeah, we can just increment for those pair the total value and return that value. Okay, but what we need to do, let's try to run it, but I don't think it will work. Okay, so what we are going to check, if let's declare that variable here first, long of total. So if we are getting AR of I value greater than AR of j, that is given in the question, so we are going to just increment the total value. Okay, and after all this we are going to return that value. So it works totally fine. Let's try to submit it and see. Okay, that is, your submission is taking too long to execute. Here's what went wrong in your code. We are okay, count time. Yeah, I think that is the case. We got O of n square, which resulted in this issue. So let's try to think of a solution where we could do this in O of n. So let's move to our very reliable notepad and see what we can do. So let's take example first where we have this case. So let's have the value of n as 5 2 5 1 3 4. Okay, so this value is compared with the other values, correct? So if ARR of I is greater than ARR of j, then we can say we can increment that total value. Okay, now let's say I is here and j is here. Okay, and we don't see that uh, happening over here, so we incremented it and we saw for this it works fine, right? For J, for so the first pair would be 2 1, and similarly we can say for 5 we won't be having any pair. For 1, sorry, for 5 we will be having all as pairs, so 5 3 4, and for 1 we won't be having anything. So for 3 also we won't be having anything. So this is the pair and the value total comes up to be 4. Okay, so how we can do this to get it in a linear time? So we have to iterate through the array only once. That's the case, I know. And do we have hints here? We do have hints. So okay, or we could go through the discussion forum and see. Yeah, they were saying something on the merge sort, so I'm not sure. Okay, let me pull up something here and see what exactly is merge sort. Okay, let's try to have it here. That's totally fine. Okay, let's try to see. Uh, okay, I'm referring Geeks for Geeks. It's a very reliable website where we have a lot of posts and we can go through them. So yeah, it is not promoted by Geeks for Geeks, but just saying, if anyone wants to refer, they can refer the site. Okay, so what is merge sort? The merge sort algorithm is a sorting algorithm that is considered as an example of divide and conquer strategy. So in this algorithm, the array is initially divided into two equal halves, and then they are combined in a sorted manner. We can think of it as a recursive algorithm that continuously splits the array in half until it cannot be further divided. This means that the array becomes empty and has only one element left, and dividing will stop. Okay, it is the best case to stop recursion uh, in the array. Okay, that's fine. Long story short, what we are doing here, yeah, okay, so we had the whole array, we divided it into two separate two, and then we have it the initial like one value only left. So now when we are, I think, merging them again, then we are putting them in a sorted order, but then again we have to merge these two sorted ones. Okay, so declare the left variable to 0 and the right variable to n minus 1. Find a median. Okay, call the merge sort from left to mid and then mid to rear. Continue till the left is less than right, and then call the merge function to perform the merge sort. Okay, so algorithm start, declare array left right mid. Okay, perform the merge function, merge sort left to right, merge sort left to right. If left is greater than right, done. And then we have mid left plus right by 2, and then we have merge sort from left to mid, mid plus 1 to right, and then again we are merging them. Okay, so that seems to be a big algo. So once the size becomes 1, the merge process comes to into action, and the merging starts back. Okay, so here we divide it. Yeah, so 27, 38, 3 4. So after this, when we merge again, I think this is sorted. So think we have to add that, but so I'm still not getting any logic behind this problem. And sorry, give me a second, let me switch up. Okay, so now this problem says I is greater than AR of J, right? So if okay, let's get we got some understanding on merge sort algorithm, like how it works, but I'm not sure like how it's implemented. I have to go through it in detail, but for now let's think of a solution for this using merge sort. So basically what we were doing in merge sort was dividing. Let's say we have this, right? So 2 5 1 3 4. So what was happening there is they were taking this whole array and have they have a midpoint that was left plus right by 2. So let's say this is left, this is right, and mid will be here. So this is mid. Okay, so now what will happen from left to right? Okay, so now they again split this chunk again into 2 5 and 1, and again 2 and 5, and 1 is already there until it becomes like this. Okay, so this is here, this goes here and here. Okay, so it finally comes down to this. Okay, so now again they are going to merge these, so they start merging these, and 2 5, which is totally fine, sorted. Now we have to add 1. So what will happen here is it gets in 1 2 5, and when similarly this was sorted, then it comes here, merge these two, so 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so let's think. So what we are doing is up till here, right? This is fine. So after that, what we are doing is we are comparing these two at a time. Okay, I think it will be a bit difficult for me as of now to check. So okay, so let me put it like this. Okay, so let me put it up here. And okay, we already had a algorithm tag for this one. So yeah, I will check on this one again. So this is pending. We are not able to finish this because it is working on some algorithm called merge sort. I got the basic understanding of it, but I need to know what is this sort. So I think tomorrow tomorrow I will get this one and the remaining two that were in progress, these two. So these two, and yeah, we will, I think we will finish the whole remaining one. So we will put up the revision for tomorrow's video and work on these three questions. So that should be the task for tomorrow. And yeah, so I think day after that I will try to get a video on the whole sorting, because I think we are having many issues in the algorithm section, and it seems to be a weak point there. So I'll try to complete this sorting algorithms, all the sorting algorithms that there are, and go through them, understand them, and just had a video on that as well. So yeah, I think that should be the aim for tomorrow and day after. So yeah, and let's, I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.